double banger, banger, bang, 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 triple double banger, banger, bang, bang, bang. So Wendy's forgot to give us a straw for the drink, but we got the Wendy's, so that's all that matters.
First and foremost, we don't like to consider ourselves like a typical NFT project. As a matter of fact, we like to consider ourselves more like a digital toy company. Even though the infrastructure is NFTs, it's the underlying technology really at the end of the day. And we think that's kind of where the industry is trending. You know, NFTs became a buzzword these last couple of years, but very much like, you know, people talk about, remember like MP3s used to be a big thing, you know, 10, 15 years ago. And now does anybody really talk about MP3 anymore? No, we just call it music, right? And I think that's where NFTs are heading to. We're heading towards that. And just like, you know, when you think of the underlying technology, when you think of email, do you think of SMTP, or when do you think of websites? Do you think of HTML? No, we think of them as websites and apps and experiences. So even though we are NFTs, we like to think of ourselves more like a digital toy company that uses the NFT and web.
Okay, so that we'll stop at different points and kind of react to things. I think that that's the key component, and we talked about it. I mean, maybe a little bit yesterday, but the NFTs are supposed to be like in addition to. It's not necessarily supposed to be its own entity, and that's, you know, like the beginning of it. It's supposed to be this broader idea, collectible, whatever, that just uses NFT technology. So I like the wording.
Web3 infrastructure. So there's a few key differences when you think about Cryptoys. It's not like a traditional NFP project where you, or like a traditional PFP project where you have like 10,000 PFPs, static images, and each one of them is slightly different because it's a different Photoshop layer that got assembled together. This is, again, more like a digital toy company. All the toys are part of a collectible series. So you have a number of toys. Think of analogous to a physical toy company, how there are certain lines and different sets and different kind of variants. It's the same thing that goes digitally. So, you know, that's how we should think of ourselves when we
There's
talk
a dog.
about this particular project. It's more like a digital toy company than really just a traditional NFT project. So we really built Cryptoys from the ground up as this digital toy company to bring a whole new meaning to the word.
Oh, what's up,
play.
Poof? Thanks for the
So
follow.
we have three pillars to the company that we focus on: toys.
Okay, so this, I feel like there's been other projects or companies that have said the pillars thing. I so deeply want to say that I think it was Guild of Guardians, and it was an interview with Derek, but it was on a Twitter space, so I probably couldn't go back and find it. But I like the idea that it's kind of like, hey, here's what we're focusing on and going through here. Like, I think for somebody that's in the NFT space, what we've been hearing, like, within the first 2 minutes here is, like, pretty solid. And if anybody disagrees with that, by the way, let me know, because I'm curious if others have a different take. Hey, what's up, Molten?
Gaming and entertainment. And you see the three pillars here that we focus on. So everything we do has to be kind of centered around these three pillars and built on through these three pillars. Because if you're creating a digital toy company, right, how do you play with digital toys? I mean, how do you get enjoyment out of digital toys? So we do them with apps, games, experiences, entertainment, and we're going to take you through some of these elements here tonight. So again, digital toy companies, digital toys on another level. So again, we're a digital toy platform. And if you guys are familiar with kind of the current trends in physical toys, they're all centered around the surprise unboxing experience and the blind bag unboxing experience, right? That's kind of like what is really dominating the toy industry these days. Like, you know, people buying things for like 20, 30, 40 bucks, taking them home. Inside is a random toy. Some are more rare than others. And that's also popularized in the NFT space. People.
So, okay, so that part's interesting. And I'm curious, has anybody been collecting of toys from like Walmart or Target or anything? Like, I genuinely can't remember the last time that I bought a toy from a store. I've bought like Magic the Gathering packs like a few years ago when I was really into that. But I'm trying to think for toys. Like, I've always remembered toys being something that you knew what it was. Actually, you know what? The Overwatch. For anyone that's into Overwatch, you might have seen there was these mystery toys. Yeah, okay. I remember this now. And they had, you know, like Mace, Soldier, Reinhardt, and it was like, okay, guess the collectible. And I was trying to dig through and like feel it, and I was like, I can't tell who the hell this is. I thought I was going to be better at it. But that's probably the only reference that I can think of that mystery aspect that was like really enjoyable. For NFTs, obviously, that's the thing. Yo, JVB, how are you, sir? Yo, JVB got a name change, and it doesn't sound like he plays League of Legends anymore. I kind of love it. I have Hot Wheels Hunter in my store daily. Ooh, okay. I used to collect import racer toy cars as a kid. My uncle used to be like really into Hot Wheels. I don't. I should probably, if I ever go to his house. I haven't been there in years. I don't think. Wow. I think we do like a yearly thing there, but he used to collect Hot Wheels and like literally drew on the walls, and he was actually like very good artistically. But it's crazy seeing some of the collections, and that's another component when we talk about stuff. And sorry, I know we're supposed to be walking or watching this video, but I feel like there's a lot of thoughts that I have as we're going here. Is that you have something that we know is valuable, right? When you go back to the beginning of any kind of like successful company, right? The first things that they launched product-wise are really, really valuable. The Coca-Cola coolers. I mean, maybe we could go as far as like original Nike shoes or some shit like that, right? But that's kind of the idea, and I feel that recently a lot of people have forgotten about, you know, the sustainability aspect. But they all have the mental awareness of, hey, like the early stuff's really, really good, but there's so many distractions within the Web3 space that it's hard to figure out which one you want to jump into. Yeah, what's up, Brian?
And then they wait for the reveal and they're excited to see what rarities they pulled, etc. But if we're building a digital toy company, right, we have to have the best unboxing experience on the web. And that's really something we focused on, is creating an incredible unboxing experience. That's one of the most exciting moments, whether you're a toy collector, whether you're a trading card or basketball card collector, or collecting Pokemon cards. It's kind of like opening the pack and like, what do you get inside? So we had to make sure that was really incredible. So we created an unboxing experience called Cryptoys Cubes, and it all starts with Cryptoys Cubes. So basically the way that it works is, even though it's digital, these are digital toys, they feel very tactile. So even though they're digital, you'll get clicks and clacks, there's sound effects to them, and they feel like they're something that you can really almost touch, even though it's digital. That feels very...
So let's ponder that one for a second. I think the unboxing experience, I mean, NBA Top Shot, ripping the packs and all that kind of stuff, there was a feeling to it. I'm trying to think, like with League of Legends, the boxes that they have, it's not even exciting, right? Like Gods Unchained, I think does a cool one when you like slide over their book and then it wibbles and then poof, there's a thing. Like it's so, listen, I know we're talking about this and like to, you know, your average macho alpha dude, they'd probably be like, bro, you're talking about like an animation of something opening online. Are you okay? But we're here and we're doing it.
Very, very tangible and very tactile. So once you line up all the colors, and it auto solves itself. So don't worry, you don't need to know Rubik's cubes. If I had to solve this myself, I probably wouldn't be able to.
I was going to ask JVB for help. We're good.
It solves itself. And then as soon as the Cryptoy cubes line up, the whole thing explodes with confetti. And then inside is your newly minted Cryptoy. So you can see here once it's revealed. Now, once it's revealed, you have a choice. You know what rarity you got. You know which character you got. You can choose, am I going to take it out of the packaging, or am I going to keep it pristine in the package, just like a physical toy collector would? If you wanted to keep it pristine, there are benefits to keeping it pristine. Then we'll talk about some of those benefits later. But if you wanted to play with the toy, you tap on it again, the whole packaging will burn off, and then your Cryptoy will come to life. And now you have a fully playable character that you can now interact with.
So I'm curious. I don't know if this can get confirmed or not. Steph, on that, it showed that it was a legendary toy. However, for argumentative sake, and then it didn't look like this one was like that. That doesn't look like a legendary. So is this like a placement, or is the legendary more about secret traits and stuff, or how is that built in?
Did Cryptoy. So you can see here.
Oh, you got emotes for it too. Now, holy shit!
Revealed, you have a choice. You know what rarity you got. You know which character you got.
Dak Elliott, what's up? You play football?
Am I going to?
I know somebody's got a familiar name.
Or am I going to keep it?
Hey, Brian.
In the package,
anyone?
Just like a physical toy collector would. If you wanted to keep it pristine, there are benefits to keeping it pristine. Then we'll talk about some of those benefits later. But if you wanted to play with the toy, you tap on it again. The whole packaging will burn off. And then your Cryptoy will
they'll break it down later.
Life,
okay, cool.
And now you have a fully playable character that you can now interact with. So here's Cryptoid coming to life, and now you can interact with it in different ways. So here's like a great opportunity. Once your Cryptoid jumps out, you know, you can.
Yo, okay, I actually need your guys' help on this. I'm trying to figure out how to like, I'll call it rebrand. I don't know if that's the right term, but you see how it says Cryptoys, Cryptoys HQ, On-Chain Studios, Cryptoys? I realized that all my shit, like, look at this. I'm not leaving, but like, look at this. All of these things are totally different. The Schiller, Von Schiller, Steven Schill, Schillerverse. I need to figure out what the hell I'm going to. So if you have any thoughts, let me know. Yo, what's up, Thorax?
Picture of it, you know, take a screenshot.
Yeah, long time no see, sir.
Etc. And you could do that kind of at any part of the unboxing experience. And we really wanted to make it fun and interactive. So really glad you guys like this. And this is something we spent a lot of time on. So hats off to all the team members that worked on this. This was really painstaking work, but something we took a lot of pride in. So we really, really hope you guys like that unboxing experience. So the next thing you can do, like what can you do right off the get-go? And remember, this is a really big project. Like this endeavor, it's not like a typical, you know, kind of NFT project where we're just building.
I think that one thing that was very, very cool for me, specifically with Cryptoys, and a couple of you might have remembered, but Ryan Carson, amongst all the drama and everything with Proof, he started doing this Twitter space, and I don't even know if he does them anymore, but he had people submit kind of like a sales pitch and was like, hey, like, you know, we want to have on like legit projects and talk about it. And they were talking about things in terms I've never even heard of before, but I was like, wow, okay, these guys are legit. So when you hear them talk, like there is like that sense of, hey, this is actually legit, as well as like, damn, their scope here I think is actually big. And yo, Jasuna!
You, what up, Schiller?
You, Soldier Boy, I told him, crank that. Yeah, anyway, yo, you're amazing. Thank you.
The PFPs and just figuring it out later. You know, we're building, again, toys, gaming, and entertainment. And you're building these experiences where you can play with the NFTs, you can play with the toys. So this took a lot of time to build. So we're creating initial experiences with the toys, but then also further building out the platform as we go. So the first thing we could do, we wanted for you to right away on day one, be able to interact with your toy in some way. So we created an experience, basically a test drive area that we called the block. So after you unwrap your Cryptoy, you can immediately take him out for a spin on the block and in this like interactive test drive environment.
Bang! Yo, JVB, thank you, sir.
Onto the block, as you see here, we have different angles and cuts.
I'm warm and fuzzy
full
inside.
Control over your Cryptoy, can run around, go backwards, go frontwards. You can do jumps. There's sound effects. There's really kind of cool aspects.
It's cool that they're showing that, and like it's not. I think that also this too, right? Like people who comment about the realism of things, and like here it feels like an overlay of a world without like the extra graphics, and it could be like the on-brand aspect, or it could just be like, hey, here's how we are in the progress, but it's still cool to see.
Right. From the get-go. So already you kind of start to see a different kind of product here. There's interactivity from day one.
Yeah, can I cut in real quick, Will?
Yeah, please.
As a tester, obviously we've been doing internal tests in the company. As a tester, the block was really something for me that like tied it all together, really hit home. Knowing that I eventually would own that asset and I'm sitting there playing with it in a 3D space. It was really cool to see and really cool to be a part of. I love that experience.
It was a moment for me too, honestly, Poof. Like, you know, again, and as someone like you who's like involved every single day building.
Yeah, the emotes are really, really top notch, to be honest.
The first time I tested it and I was able to buy a Cryptoy cube, unwrap it.
Oh, sure, I think that is.
The toy and take it onto the block and like play with the toy was kind of like a holy you know what moment. It was like, wow, this is incredible. There was like a feeling to it. And again, we can't get the sound effects and whatnot. I see some messages coming in that the jumping's cute and that means a lot. Thank you. But you'll hear even like the sound effects and the noises and the interactive elements, the little touches are just so great here. The team really, really knocked it out of the park. So again, hats off to the entire team, the R team, the Unity team, Arthur, Nikki, Rye, Chris, with the whole squad, that everybody who had a hand on this. Like, again, hats off to you all. So yeah, so you know, that's the block, and that's kind of the initial experience there.
Wait, I have an alpha leak with the block. I heard. Tell me if this is true or not, or if this is a rumor. Will, if you run straight for 3 hours in a row, that you could reach that on-chain mountain.
Wait.
Is that a fact?
Oh, wait,
or is
what?
that just a rumor that I heard?
We'll have to let people figure that out.
Okay, someone has
Confirmed,
to try it. 3
eh?
hours straight,
Okay,
though. You
spicy.
Can't let your finger off of the key. 3 hours straight. See if it works.
So another component of this for the ones that are kind of like, I don't know if I would call this like a metaverse versus like a game, and we'll kind of see, right? I think we'll kind of, even if it's not like a metaverse right away, I think it could end up becoming one within time. But like, how big is the scope? How big is the scope of some of these maps and worlds, right? So for the other side demo, if you happen to see that, it was, that kind of like area where they had, I don't know, the Pride lands over to the side where there was that evil stuff, and then there was the nice kind of Jimmy Rig open nature, kind of like, hey, we're walking like we're Lord of the Rings, and then they have like that kind of like Coliseum thing, like they're pretending they're watching like the Hunger Games or whatever, and it was pretty sizable, right? And for Sandbox and whatnot, like, I mean, Sandbox has instances where Decentraland feels that it's like loading, but it's still massive, right? Like all of them have a very, very different feel.
The never-ending grid.
Okay, back to the presentation.
Yo, shit,
Okay,
Judge
so
hit
the
it.
next
Yo, in
thing
Toronto
is we'll
too,
talk about
eh?
Your backpack. Really, your backpack is the best way to think about it is your wallet, and of course,
First thing I'm looking at when I'm seeing this is thinking of Tamagotchi, or not Tamagotchi. Oh goodness, the Crocs. You remember when there was like gibbets? I don't know if anybody ever used to buy those individual gibbets and added them to their Crocs or their makeshift Crocs. Those were the days.
we're a digital toy company, so we just thought it was more apropos to give you a backpack instead of a wallet. So your backpack is what you have your toys in, where you collect your toys. So effectively, once you create your account, you'll have your backpack, and this is our kind of system where we give you control of your
these.
Cryptoys and be able to do.
Yeah, if that ain't a memory, I don't know what
This
is.
a custodial type of wallet, so you'll log in with your username and password. So again, we want this to be as consumer friendly as possible. Remember, the goal here is to onboard millions and millions of new people onto blockchain for the first time.
Okay, so this is another point, right? I've heard a lot. I guess I haven't heard that many, but the guy from Guild of Guardians, Derek, he's talked about how they want to bring on like hundreds of millions of players within this, and we got Cryptoys saying that as well. So always keep an eye whenever they say that that's like specifically the goal.
And non-custodial wallets initially for a lot of people are very imposing. Setting up, MetaMask wallets, writing down seed phrases.
I had a friend do it the
having
other day, and he like figured the whole thing out, like lickety split. I was like, holy
so
shit.
To start, we're creating a custodial wallet, kind of a la NBA Top Shot, and our friends at Dapper Labs, kind of similar. But we're also launching in early 2023 a non-custodial wallet support option. So if you want to, you'll have the capability of taking your Cryptoys off of the platform into a non-custodial wallet. If you are a little bit more experienced with third-party wallets and blockchain-based wallets, and you feel confident in being in charge of your own assets, you're free to take it off the platform. So there's a lot of great flexibility there, and then you could also trade them on secondary marketplaces, obviously, once you have them in the non-custodial wallet. So a lot of flexibility for newcomers and more experienced collectors alike. Now let's talk about the Genesis series and go over the numbers here. So if you think of this analogous to a physical toy company, they're going to be different lines of toys, throughout the different years and quarters. We'll release new stuff. So this is the first line that we'll ever release.
Pickle, not everybody's going to be wearing that, and just because some asshole doesn't mean everybody's going.
We'll share more about that in a few minutes. But this
okay, let's do a quick little breakdown because I feel like they're just going to kind of go over the different stats here. So 3 character breeds, 7 rarity levels with the skin, 21 collectible skins, and 10,000 quantity per breed. So 30,000 total Genesis first editions. Something that we talked about before, kind of back with NBA Top Shot, is that, hey, what's the demand of these, moments in particular? Like, is there enough to bring in pack sales of 30,000? And I think relating it to here, do we have enough people that would be interested in 30,000? Is it going to be something that potentially there's a bit lower of an interest, significantly higher of a one? Obviously they want to bring in that many people, but looking at the space right now, if they're saying 30,000, I'm going to go on a limb and say that I think they're probably going to be less expensive than a lot of the NFTs that you and I have bought within the past couple of months. That's an assumption. That's a guess, but this doesn't scream at me. This is going to be an expensive buy to get them.
Is the premier line, and they're going to be very, very special. So we'll never release more of these. There'll be 30,000 total. There'll be 10,000 per breed. So, we have 3 characters. We have the Corgi, the cat, and the panda. We'll get into them a little bit later. So there's 30,000 total, and we're not going to release all 30,000 right from the get-go. There are going to be small batches that we'll release methodically. And again, a lot of you who are watching will be in those early drops. Thank you so much for being early supporters, and appreciate you being here. But we'll release them slowly, fam. Kind of in different batches. And this is kind of at a high level, the numbers and the quantities. So this platform, as we've designed a digital toy company, remember, we have to scale to millions and millions of users. So 30,000 will be the genesis. And in the grand scheme of things, as we get larger and larger from a collection standpoint, we'll obviously have to release, eventually down the line, certain collections that are more than 30,000. But 30,000 for the Genesis line, we're really excited about that. And
3D hand what's up?
So let's talk about the tiers. So there are 3 tiers to Cryptoys that you can collect. There's the adventurers, the elites, and the heroes. And the way that this works, again, we need to provide variety for a lot of different collectors and a lot of different price points. So the adventurers are like the base level tier. So the price point will be, very affordable. Like, people will be able to easily buy these things for a few bucks, be able to get onto the platform. And then there's certain kind of abilities that adventurers can do once you're inside the games and all the different things that we
Thorax, especially if they're doing it not all at once.
So they'll be kind of like mid price point, and also mid kind of power tiered. So again, you'll be able to do a lot of things with them, but they're not as powerful as the heroes. And then the heroes are like the cream of the crop. These are the most expensive from a base level perspective. So
let me ask a question. And I'm using the minds of the entire Web3 space here, because I know you guys are all in different ones. Have we seen a successful implementation of tiers across any sort of NFT, blockchain, game 2? Because I'm trying to think of, for Gods Unchained, the way that the tiers work within just the cards is that it is just a different skin. There's not any kind of advantage to it. So Top Shot, yep, fair. I feel like there's not been too many that have successfully implemented a tier system that has a real difference between them. But prove me wrong. I might just be forgetting something here.
What we're going to be releasing and minting. So, they'll be the highest price, but again, they're still going to be very, very affordable. We're going to get into pricing in a second. And they give you the best chance of earning in-game rewards and different items. So again, a lot of the things you'll be able to do.
Yeah, Gods Unchained was what I was thinking.
Gamification elements. Your characters, depending on if they're adventurer, elites, and heroes, will be able to earn more collectibles inside of the games. So, you can kind of see all these different tiers here. And when you see a line released, you'll be able to know, is this a hero line? Is this an adventurer line? Is this an elite line? And then I'll kind of help you make some decisions as you build out your collection. So there.
Okay. So let's look at this: common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, grail, and ultra grail. I don't know why. This kind of reminds me of the 3 blind mice from Shrek. The rares, the style of this one on the left actually makes me think of Atari. I think the legendaries have a really cool color scheme for it. I feel like the grails are missing something. This is all personal opinion. Love the legendaries. Reminds me of the Shrek, so I love it. But I feel like these, they have the color schemes where if it was glow in the dark or something, then they'd be insane. But well, let's hear what they got to say. Also, mpenwell13, thank you for the follow and hello. Grails will have animated skins. Okay, so that's what we're missing.
Are the 3 base tiers. Then you have rarity levels on top of it. So what you're looking at is a full line.
Yo, Steph, we got to play again,
in total. The commons, the uncommons, rares, epic, legendaries, grails, and ultra grails. So if you're familiar with this type of system, this should be pretty familiar to you. Again, if you're not, totally okay. But pretty self-explanatory. The commons kind of make up the majority of half of the collection. Uncommons about a quarter. Then you go even
Really
rarer
low
from
for the
there,
Ultra
rares, the epics,
Grails.
the
Holy
legendaries, the
sugar.
grails. And the Ultra Grails, those are one of ones each. So you see less than 1%. There's actually only 3 of those in the whole collection.
Yo,
one of
3
each
blind
character.
mice.
So if you
Hell
get those,
friggin' yeah. That
hats off to you. That's the ultimate chase right there, is to collect an Ultra Grail. But again, really cool stuff. And the Grails, you can't see them here because this is a screenshot. The Grails are really awesome because these are actually animated
Yeah, there we
skins.
go.
So if you look at them, they're kind of like space looking, kind of cosmic looking skins. They actually are animated skins. So you'll see like comets and like shooting stars and like, stars like twinkle on the skins themselves as they move around
little
the block and
star,
the Cryptoyverse.
how
And of course,
I
I think they're all
wonder what
fantastic. I
you
think the art
are.
teams did a tremendous job.
I feel like
as they
that
always
wasn't
do,
the
and
right
knocked it out of the
lyrics.
park. So I love every single rarity tier, and I'm definitely going to try to collect them all. For sure. I love them, and there's so many that I just can't even wait to get the physical versions of. They look so awesome. All right, cool. So moving on to the next power levels. So we talked about like the heroes, the adventurers, the elites, right? You'll see as you collect that each Cryptoy has this thing called a statometer next to it. And the statometer basically is a combination of the tier and other factors of like the rare ability and like how rare certain things are. It'll fill up your statometer. Certain power levels can only go up to a specific point if it's an adventurer or an elite or a hero. And others, can go a little bit, higher based on your level of involvement in the game. So imagine if you're a hero, for example, if you get hero Cryptoys, you're already starting at a pretty decent statometer. It's already kind of like 3/4 of the way up. And then you'll be able to fill up the statometer and have an incredibly powerful Cryptoy by doing certain things. Adventurers and elites will start lower, and they could only cap and max out at a specific point. And we'll release more info there. So then again, it kind of shows you the different capabilities of the adventurers, the elites, and the heroes. So pay attention to the statometers as you get your Cryptoys. And of course, just like I said, I think the name of the game is collecting them all.
Pokemon, I
really
see you.
to build out your collection, and we have some benefits if you do build
Just
out
change
your
the
entire
collect to
collection.
catch.
So we'll get on to that in a
Nice
second.
try. Yo, I seen
All
that.
right. Masters of the Universe. Yeah. Big alpha here.
I feel like we saw or we heard something about this when it originally happened, and I got shredded in chat for it. And I was like, I've never seen it. I've heard of like the character or whatever, but I got no damn idea anything about this.
Alpha time. Wait, before we reveal this, because this is a special moment, like nobody has seen this. I did want to say, someone said, will there be additional characters down the road? We are about to reveal a few additional characters that have never been seen before, the 3D versions of them at least.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
So this is pretty big. And I feel like we need to hype up the chat before we reveal this. Like we kind of need, we need the chat to.
Yo,
be
you
alive.
next time just like pull out a tambourine or something and start whacking it. Yo, can you imagine?
You're washing the dishes, you're doing something. This is the visual time to be looking. Feel free to take screenshots, record, whatever. But let's see. Okay, we do have the hype. We do have the chat hyped.
Yeah,
I'm hyped.
this
already.
is what
Let's
it looks
go.
like on
Come
the other
Alpha.
side.
Mo2. Yeah, who's a Mo2?
Steph, it was going, hey?
Who loves Masters of the Universe? Let's see if we got any of the Masters of the Universe fans in here. Oh, Jason's in here.
Yeah, actually, is there anyone that's watching right now that is a fan a fan of the
beating.
show?
Because these are Freddie's babies. Freddie and his team worked so hard on these, so I can imagine.
Eyes watching, cooking dinner. All right, I need them all. Insert pump it up song. Hype. Let's go. Okay, we got drum rolls.
Steph's like, all right, guys,
everyone's
relax
all
now.
Now you
relax.
Just getting,
Yeah.
too amped.
And there's going to be a lot of other characters that we're releasing, but for the sake of this,
Yeah, because I mean, them with Mattel. I mean, hold on.
There's a bunch of Masters of the Universe stuff, and we're doing 3 waves, and this is going to be the first 4 characters that we worked on to to make you know, the Cryptoyified Motu.
So type it in
line.
Mattel
Remember,
toy
Cryptoys has an
IPs. It all
aesthetic to
also
it, right?
pops
We have
up
a certain
Batman, Barbie,
look
Luke
of the toy,
Skywalker,
right?
and Buzz
Just like
Lightyear.
certain toy companies have a specific way they look, so does Cryptoys. So we're really happy with the way these came out. So really excited to share you some of the 3D ones. You saw the
Thomas the Tank Engine,
saw
Hot
the
Wheels,
Corgi, you saw Alfie the Corgi, you saw Comet,
Bob the
cat,
Builder.
you saw Juno the Panda, you see our OG3. So here are the first kind of 4
Interesting.
lines for Mattel. So without further ado, we have a little video, right?
Hype video.
Hype video. So let's do that. Let's play that first.
Okay.
He-Man, Skeletor, and Castle Grayskull. New from the Masters of the Universe collection. Skeletor alone is no match for He-Man.
So excited. Great
It's so
job.
good.
So here's an interesting point. Could be totally off base with this, but looking at that, I'm trying to think to myself, like, okay, what is it? What's going to be the catalyst for me to have that same feeling that, okay, I have this toy physically, but I have it digitally under the same emotions? Because I feel similar to if anybody's ever done any kind of work where, you know, you've typed out a bunch of stuff and then you've printed it, and then when you read it on the paper versus reading it online, it feels like different things kind of like connect in your head with it, and I don't know if you're more attached, more paying attention to it, or catch, you know, I mean, people do it because they catch errors, but what's going to be the catalyst for millions and millions of people to be like, okay, like, I'm happy with this being digital versus physical? Is it space? Is it, you know, something that they do where you're able to actually use those things? Is it a showcased room? Guild of Guardians 2 had something, and I mean, even the original one, where if you completed certain dungeons, if you completed the game, if you got certain things, it was actually like trophies or items, objects, things that you could get, and then you would have a Hall of Monuments, I'm pretty sure is what it was called. So if you look up Hall of Monuments Guild Wars, you'll be able to see them, and it was a way that people were able to kind of like showcase their achievements within the game. And I'm curious if we do see any kind of like Web3 projects do that.
And team on that video and pool party, you guys crushed it. So the start, this is the first wave of Cryptoid characters that you see here. So in wave 1 for Master Universe, this is the first time we're showing the 3D version, the 3D interactive version. So you got our guy He-Man over here, Triclops, Battle Cat, and Evelyn. These are the first 4 Masters of the Universe Cryptoys that we will be releasing. Again, these are fully interactive with a lot of rarity tiers. So again, we're not going to show a lot of those tiers today. We're going to have to save that because Freddie is also working really, really hard, and his team is working really hard to do a lot of the 3D renders of those. But imagine every single one of these has basically 7 tiers and 7 different variants. And I tell you right now, they are insane. They are absolutely insane the way that these variants look. Like, what can you do with He-Man and like do different kind of colorations and different elements and stuff like that? It's so cool, and I can't wait for you all to see that. So here's the sneak peek of the original 4 on the first wave. I was in the focus group for wow, that is so awesome.
The other thing that
cool.
I find that could be interesting with this is, do we have it where people buy into this just because it's Cryptoys created, or they're just a fan of like NFTs, right? Because myself, when I first saw that, and then, you know, as I'm viewing this, I'm like, I don't feel like I would buy that, right? But then I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe if Cryptoys themselves do more with this, or I really kind of like the different things that they produce, yeah, you know, you can end up becoming a fan of something from a measurement that you're not aware of.
That's amazing. And oh yeah, here we got some more cool stuff. This is the first time we also will show you in its full 3D Unity glory, Castle Grayskull. Again, hats off to the art team and the animation team.
Now that looks like a toy you could actually get in person.
Here's Castle Grayskull. If you know Masters of the Universe, this is an iconic piece of Masters of the Universe lore. And what you are looking at here is the first time we are actually showing a play set. So this is also not just the toys that we showed here. These are toys themselves, but this is actually a play set. This is also an NFT, a special edition type of NFT that you're
Nice.
going to be able to purchase that allows you to collect these things, but then also take your Masters of the Universe Cryptoy and run into the play set and do different things with your Cryptoys.
That shit's gonna be cool.
Kickstart a whole new level of experiences for Masters of the Universe. Yeah, Snake Mountain's got to be next for sure. I agree. And yes, 100% kudos to the design team who absolutely crushed it. So play sets, a first to the NFT Web3 digital collectible space. We're really excited to roll that out with Cryptoys. So keep your eyes peeled for that. This is the first time we show this publicly, so we hope you guys like it.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Like the
I love
construction
everyone's
hat.
comments too. You guys are killing it in the comments.
Every time I see this one, I go like I turn into like an 8-year-old kid every time I see this. So really exciting. Glad you guys like it. All right. So what we're building for the future of the Cryptoyverse, again, we are in heavy build mode. We have an incredible team. We're over 50 people now. Can you believe it? Steph,
Wow.
you were one of the first people to join the company, right? And
It's
now
like a
we're
grandma.
and now the team is over 50 and we're building very, very actively. And again, working around the clock, really excited about the stuff that we're building here. So we're going to go into some of the roadmap. So what's coming next? You have an initial version.
I like the way they're
platform
showing
that we're
this.
releasing
I actually really like
to
that.
early collectors and supporters. So really excited about that. And we want to get this out to you, get your feedback.
Okay, I'm gonna be like absolutely real. If they have some kind of like a game where it includes like copters, and it doesn't necessarily even need to be like a Fortnite battle royale of some sort, but like if they just have something that like is pretty involved within like a flying race that has some, depth to it. Jeez, I'm already envisioning this shit. Grown men grabbing a Cryptoy of a little dog, hopping in a plane and bantuking it out.
On the platform. And again, just so thankful that you guys have stuck with us for months as we built this out. We have collectors experiences coming. We have mini games and we have a marketplace. We're building all of this. And this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg, but we'll get into this a little bit more now. So first and foremost, the collector experiences, and some of the stuff we'll get into is really, really important, I think, for some of the folks that really want to actively collect on the platform. So the first thing is collector patches. So you see here, this is a collector patch.
This is interesting.
We got one here, and as you can see, it looks like those like old school backpack patches, like the fabric patches that you kind of iron on to your backpack. That's obviously on purpose and very intentional, because as you have a backpack in your Cryptoys account, you're able to build out your backpack with these patches and cool things that you'll earn over time. So if you were one of the first people to collect, or one of the first people to get a specific line or collect the whole set, you're going to get a bunch of patches. So really excited about that. The next thing that we haven't talked about, I think, much at all, so it's one of the first times we're sharing about this, is golden tickets.
Alpha leak.
This is a big piece of alpha. We haven't talked about this publicly, right? Steph, golden tickets.
No, we haven't. This is new.
So let's talk about golden tickets. So a golden ticket, as you see here on the right side, these are NFTs as well. And what they will do is every time you max mint on a drop, basically you can get up to 5 Cryptoy cubes per drop. So if you're waiting in the queue, you get to the front of the queue, you can mint up to 5. Every time you get 5 Cryptoy cubes, we are going to be awarding you a golden ticket NFT. And effectively, this is a digital collectible that will be airdropping in a future date. But trust me, we're logging everybody that max mints 5. And you're going to get basically a golden ticket. And what the golden ticket allows you to do is early access to future drops. So if you want like the Mode 2 drops and you're kind of interested in that, make sure that you get max mint 5, because you're going to get priority access to the next drop and the next drop and the next drop. And it's a little bit different what we're doing for 2022. You're going to get priority access for all the drops that we have throughout the remainder of the year. But then for 2023, that's when you'll be able to take your golden tickets, and we're going to airdrop it to each and every one of you that max mint 5, as many times as you max mint 5. So if you max mint multiple times, you get 2 golden tickets, 3 golden tickets, 4 golden tickets, etc. Basically, think of them like fast passes, priority drops for 2023. And we have a lot, and I can't say the names because literally I'm signed under NDA with household name companies, like you know these brands, like you grew up with a lot of these brands. We're working on drops for these big licensing opportunities.
So let's talk about that for a second. The big licenses that are out there. Recently, for Funko Pops, I guess they're partnered with Wax, the blockchain, and they announced that they are having their like Game of Thrones Funko Pop NFT mint. At first, when I read Game of Thrones NFTs, I was like, oh, sugar. Let's go, baby. And then I was like, oh, it's Funko Pops. Oh, it's on Wax. I think it's going to matter where these are coming from and how easy it is. But also, if they actually do have some of these bigger IPs, it could be spicy. The one thing that they don't really bring up beyond that, but I guess it's kind of like implied, is that you want this golden ticket for those other ones, but we also don't know what the supply of those other ones are. So it sounds like it's kind of like a guaranteed mint. Like it's almost like an allow list or a whitelist for those other ones when they come, and you just have to kind of assume how big those ones are going to be. Yeah, Game of Thrones, the ultimate buzzwords. True. Show that list of toys again. List of toys again. Sorry, what do you mean? What do you mean? I can go back.
NFTs,
Let me know what you're talking about.
And what they will do is every time you max mint on a drop, basically you can get up to 5 Cryptoy cubes per drop. So if you're waiting in the queue, you get to the front of the queue.
Oh, the other screen, Mattel IP.
Every time you get 5.
Sorry. That was the other window that I was on. Yeah, so this is a couple of different things within their IP. Yeah, it would be super fire. So, things that I guess I kind of know: Hello Kitty, Jurassic World. I'm down a little bit. Masters of the Universe is there. Power Wheels. Is that like Hot Wheels but different? Speed, Sunshine Street, Super Cartoon Make. Yo, WWE. Yo, she. Yo, can you? Guys, we found the alpha. No cap. Jeez. What else we got on here? I mean, we said earlier Toy Story, Cars, that's Disney. Barney. I didn't know that was the Barney logo. Uno. And Gary V in that shit too, huh? Where the hell's Gary at, eh?
Cryptoy cubes. We are going to be.
Sorry, I'm just skipping ahead a little bit because
your golden tickets. We're going to airdrop it to each and every one of you that max mint 5, as many times as you max mint 5. So if you max mint multiple times, you get. If you're really excited about some of the drops and want to make sure you secure it, golden tickets are a way to do that. But also remember, golden tickets.
Yo, if I'm right about that WWE thing,
collect those.
You heard it here first.
So really, really excited about golden.
Yo,
tickets.
Richmond, how the hell are you?
To announce that today, the first time we're talking about it. So super, super excited.
We got Wendy's, brah.
Collector's titles.
Banger.
So as you build out your collection, we'll be rolling out collector's titles. This will be coming, shortly after we release the initial versions of the platform. So the title progressions, as you see here, you have all the way from being a dabbler, just collecting 1/6 of the characters, all the way to becoming a grand master.
Okay, so this is interesting. One of the comments that I was going to make, but I was waiting to see like how they described it, was for the title progression. So with League of Legends, obviously you guys know that I do that all the time. They've added it recently where like depending on like attributes or things you get. So like let's say you get a kill within like the first 2 minutes of the game, then you get this like badge you're able to have like on your profile for when you're loading in games. People can see that, and then like each so if it's like get a kill early, you'd have bronze, silver, gold, and it'd be like, okay, if you get 15 kills early within games, and you're up to gold, and then it goes higher than that. But it also signifies how many people have gotten that. So if there's anyone from the Cryptoys team that's still listening, here's an idea: is with these ones, highlight like how many other people have also achieved it. Not just like, hey, you've achieved Grandmaster. It's, hey, you know, you're like 1 out of 25 or something. Because yo, listen, people crave that shit.
Of a particular collection. So every collection, if you want to be the Grandmaster collector of Zuafo Escape, you can collect every character. And by the way, the Ultra Grails, the one of ones,
Yo,
are
Richmond,
not
good.
Required to complete the series
Thorax again, the
collection.
Undertaker,
So
right?
Obviously, those are hard chases to get. So if you collect all of them besides the one of one Ultra Grails, you still can be a Grandmaster, and that'll also earn you specific points and rewards as you progress. So really kind of cool. Again, if you're a collector, like I am, this stuff means a lot and shows that you're a progression, you know, throughout the platform as you build out, you know, your different sets and different lines. So, and what's cool about this is you could be a Grandmaster or a Master or an expert in one collection that you really love, but maybe a dabbler in another one. So like other platforms, we don't make you collect everything. You can collect some of the ones that you really, really love and focus on building the collections and the sets there. So again, we really hope you like this, and yeah, love to hear all the positive feedback. I'm seeing the comments here, so that is really exciting. Then there's future games. So there's a lot of casual games that we're building on top of the Cryptoyverse. Like you saw the block. Think of the block as like the infrastructure and like the engine, and we're going to be building a lot of different things on top of that technology. We already are working actively on a number of games, and we'll be releasing more information on those soon. So you expect those to be coming very shortly after the initial drops, because we're working very, very hard on them. And then we're also partnering with other studios as well. We're building an
for the people that are following Cryptoys somewhat heavily, and I know there's a few of you here in the chat, or even if it's like on the side, I feel like I don't look at this as, oh my God, like I'm looking at this because of like the monetary value, right? Like, I'd say there's a lot of things that I'm like, oh, yo, like, that could be good. Listen, that's a ripperoni. Hopefully they got a token and all this other stuff. But, like, I don't have that feeling about Cryptoys. I just feel like it's going to be something that launches games, apps, and other stuff. And it's not about the money aspect. It's about the fun aspect. And I guess I attribute that to, like, the branding that they have so far. But maybe it's different for the people that, like, have been, like, intensely following it.
internal SDK that allows other partners to build on top of the platform. So you can kind of already see some casual style games that we built. You'll be able to play with this actually in queue while you wait to mint your Cryptoys and get your Cryptoys. But fun games, casual games that you could jump in with your Cryptoy and just have fun with for a few minutes
like,
at a time.
Guild of Guardians, if I'm not rich from that shit, we're fudding the hell out of it.
Space is humongous, and we want to continually build fresh new experiences for you guys rather than kind of like the stale, like same kind of format. Like, you know, some platforms are going for an MMORPG style platform, like a World of Warcraft style. That's great. That's really not what we're building here. Cryptoys, like actually, a lot of people when they see what we're building, they've called us a little bit of a NFT native Nintendo, and it's an interesting analogy. The more that we heard it, because again, we're building family-friendly, casual style games, and the reason we want to do that is so we can get feedback from y'all. You know, we might release 2, 3, 4.
Is it planning on being on mobile when it like fully launches, or are we just looking at like
3
PC
or something like that, and we can
browser-based or whatever
build that for you to be able to play with your Cryptoys in within a few months' time, rather than getting locked into a roadmap on one gaming meta that will take us years and years to build. So fresh new experience will always be coming for you guys. We're sharing some concepts here on the screen, just so you guys can get a taste of what's to come.
On the roadmap? Okay, cool. Curious how people like
experience
how people prioritize that.
On. So there's kind of 2 versions of a marketplace right now. On day 1, there's not a marketplace that's ready to go from the get-go. So again, we're really focusing on people that want to get in, hold their collection, and can be patient with us for a couple months as we build out the different features to allow you to sell and flip your Cryptoys if you wanted to do so. So 2 different versions of the marketplace that we're actively working on. One is a native marketplace.
It's interesting that they specifically said flip.
NBA Top Shot, a very custom experience that feels native to the brand. So different animations, different trading capabilities, and allow you to do certain things that you'll only be able to do on the website. And then there'll be obviously the non-custodial stuff. So as soon as we roll out the non-custodial wallet support, you'll then be able to take your Cryptoys off the platform and to any, flow-based marketplace, whether that's a Rareable or a Gaia and other ones that are rolling it out. I think even OpenSea was rumored to have flow support pretty soon, so you'll be able to do that. So appreciate you guys being patient as we roll out all the marketplace support in the coming months. All right. Okay, I could catch my breath for a second. It's a lot of time.
You're doing
Okay,
great.
while you're catching your breath, there was someone that had a question in here, and I know we had said if anyone has a question, feel free. Price, we are going to discuss price in a bit.
Yeah,
so stay
I'm
tuned
curious
for
what
that.
that's going to be
Will
too.
there be vehicles? That is definitely alpha.
Yo,
we cannot reveal.
yo,
That's a
vehicles,
great
mounts.
thought.
Yeah.
And then Priscilla said, or let me move you so Will's not being covered. Will you have presence at any other conventions or just Comic-Con? Because we were at Comic-Con with Mattel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, how did that go? I'm very curious for some of these ventures that attend conferences. I've seen a few projects, go out to them. Like, I mean, firsthand, obviously VCon, there was a couple different projects there. Dead Fellas, CyberKongs, Women and Weapons, to name a few. And it was kind of cool. But I mean, it was already an audience of NFT native people. How the hell does it work when you go to ones that aren't there? And then you're also kind of in the back of your mind, like you assume that everybody hates NFTs based off of like what we've read online, but then most people are like completely open to it when you actually talk to them about anything. Yeah, SDCC was all non-native. Was it weird? Like, did you guys like try to advertise it in a different way? Like, I don't. If you go to a show, is it better if you have I'm an NFT, hello, or is it better like digital collectibles, right? I don't know.
There will be lots of different conferences and convention presences that we will have. We're focusing really heavy on that for next year. So we were at Comic-Con with Mattel. That was an incredible experience. And, we're really focusing. We definitely love the NFT conferences and the Web3 stuff. But we also want to make sure that we're out there in, all the comic book conventions and the collectible conventions, the toy conventions, the licensing fairs. We really want to make sure that we're, going through, and crossing the chasm from not just Web3 early adopters and people that understand digital collectibles, but also, folks that are getting introduced to the space for the first time. So yes, please, if you have conventions that you think we should be at, please hit us up and suggest them. We're actively looking to fill our calendar with different cons for 2023.
Amazing. I have to say the comments about you. Get Will a snack. Breathe, Will. Great job. Look, everyone, but you got to hand it to Will.
So another thing that I do want to give credit here for this Will guy down. You can't see him. There's Will. It says Will. Anyway, the woo. Sorry, I didn't mean to cancel that. I've seen. I don't really call this like a sales pitch, right? Like it's kind of going through a presentation. But I've seen a lot of people in the space do things that are similar to it, and like they're not really that engaging. They don't like interest you at all. I don't know if it's like just the way that he's talking about things or that I'm just like kind of like actually genuinely interested in the product, but it's a very well done presentation.
Really going through, I'm telling you, there's a lot in this. So let's all just appreciate Will for going through this with us. Will, we do appreciate you.
I appreciate you all.
Appreciate you, Will.
Yo, I'll be back in like 2-3 minutes. Let me know if I miss anything
What
important.
you guys
Sorry.
like what you've seen so far. So there's more to come. So just talking about the roadmap. So obviously we airdropped the Cryptoy Classics to our earliest supporters. Really, really grateful for all of you for being there, being patient with us as we built out a lot of the stuff. Remember, 3D art, animation, Unity. This is all from scratch. It takes some time. So thank you all for being so patient. And hopefully you like your Cryptoy Classics. And again, thank you for your early support. The origin story, we revealed that. I hope you guys liked that. Again, that was a labor of love. Freddie, the art team, so many people on the team crushed that. If you haven't seen it yet, please check it out at cryptoys.com. The origin story, who are these characters and where do they come from? We had a chance to reveal that. And then next on the list, the Genesis UFO Escape series drop, the 30,000 first edition heroes. So, thank you so much for being here. We're talking about how we're going to roll these out and get these in your hands as soon as possible. We're going to launch the block in conjunction with that as well. So right away, you'll be able to take your Cryptoys on the block and interact with them. And then also different collector experiences. And then the first Mattel Cryptoys drop, the very first licensed Cryptoys ever, going to be Masters of the Universe. You saw the first 4. There's going to be 8 more after that across 2 more waves. And we're excited to share more there. And there'll be other licensing stuff that we'll announce soon beyond just Mattel, but we're starting there. So that is phase 1. Phase 2, initial mini games. We'll be launching that. Again, you'll be able to go on the block. There's like some casual style games that you'll be able to play in queue, but we're launching additional mini games on top of that. Also, there's Binary Dust, a token that we're working really, really hard on. We have some stuff in development there that we'll announce later. A third-party marketplace, a native marketplace, and also some staking functionality. You could think of staking functionality very much like keeping your Cryptoys wrapped in the packaging like we showed before, that you can make a decision whether I'm going to keep my Cryptoys opened or unopened. That's kind of the staking functionality. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Phase 3, items and accessories, skill gems. So items and accessories, obviously, you have a Cryptoy, yes, always more licensing, Peter. Definitely more licensing. You could think more licensing throughout the roadmap because we have so much stuff we want to announce there and so many cool partners that we want to tell you more about. But we can't just yet because again, we're under NDA, but stay tuned for that. But items and accessories, you imagine you have your Cryptoys, but now you'll also have items and things that you could deck, wearables, handhelds, weapons, things like that, power-ups, so you could do different things. NLP and AI functionality, a lot of people don't know this, but we have 2 people on the team, shout out to Myrell and Chris, dedicated 100% of their time to natural language processing and AI. So you are going to be able to interact with these Cryptoys. This is going to be some fun stuff that you'll be able to do and actually converse with them and chat with them and do fun things through natural language processing and AI. So we'll announce more of that coming soon. So again, your heroes. Yeah, what's up, Myrell? Myrell in the chat. You'll see your heroes and all the different rarity tiers there. So again, make sure that you collect them and build out your collection around that. And then also a companion app, a mobile app that'll allow you to do some fun stuff. So really excited to release more screenshots and sneak peeks of these things because we're getting close. This is phase 3, but there's so much fun stuff that I can't wait to leak and share around. It's so funny. I can't wait to leak it. I'm saying to
I gotta say, one person, let's confirm or deny this on the spot. Okay, let's see if we can. Phase 17 theme park.
I like that. I like where you're going with that. Nice, Valentina.
I love that idea.
Thinking big. And then phase 4, the Cryptoys animated series, actively in development. Shout out to Cassie. Cassie, if you're in the chat or you're listening, big shout out to you, who's actively working on the script for the animated series and the pilots. And we're talking with a lot of amazing folks out in Hollywood about this animated series and trying to get this thing, produced and in the right hands. I'll say that right now there's a lot of interest around it. So we'll be picking a great partner for that and pushing forward on that initiative. The play sets, the pocket dimensions, and crafting pocket dimensions. The best way to think about pocket dimensions is basically your own play area. So you'll be able to collect play sets. You'll be able to, assemble it, decorate it in different ways, and basically build out your whole collection across the Cryptoys universe in your pocket dimension. And then crafting, if you're familiar with crafting mechanisms in games, taking multiple items and then creating things with them. So a lot of stuff being built here that I think you're really, really going to like. So that goes through the roadmap. As you know, or most of you know, we're building this on the Flow blockchain. And a lot of people ask why we decided to build on Flow. Simply put, we think it's the most user-friendly blockchain experience on the web. It's already trusted by incredible brands like the NBA, NFL, Dr. Seuss, Samsung, etc. It allows you to take a credit card.
Sorry, of like what we just saw. Okay, so phase 1 Cryptoys Classic airdrop to early supporters. Origin story trailer revealed. Genesis Zoo FO Escape series drop. Holy G, sorry, excuse me. 30,000 first edition heroes. The block launch collector experience reveal. First Mattel Cryptoys drop. Masters of the Universe. Phase 2 initial minigames launch. Binary dust utility token. Ooh, okay. Yeah, okay. All right. Listen, now we're talking about token. All right, we're back in the moolah game. Third-party marketplace live. Native marketplace live. Staking functionality live. So that's another thing. I feel like, or I assume that staking was going to kind of take like a back seat, to be totally honest, but I'm seeing it pop up more and more. It's not a bad thing. I just thought that it wasn't going to like survive. But that's really cool to hear. Phase 3, items and accessories launch, skill gems, power-up launch, NLP, and AI functionality live. Okay, that's by Molten. You were saying that? Yeah, so I'm pretty heavy into altered state machine, or they call it like ASM, and they have like a partnership with Muhammad Ali and like all this other stuff, and they're wanting to do this AI gaming in a way. So you have like these characters that have brains, and then like you can train them, and then they'll actually be better at the games and whatnot. And I think that it's very interesting to see how the AI evolution disrupts whatever's naturally going on. Like, I think that if your project is looking at AI anything right now, that's a reason to be hyper bullish, personally, of course. Companion app launch, phase 4, Cryptoys animated series launch, playsets launch, pocket dimensions launch, and then crafting launch. Ooh. And then they're on Flow, and this is kind of back to where we are. A lot of questions about Flow. I feel that people were super hyped up when Ballers came out after NBA Top Shot, but then, you know, it doesn't feel like there's been too many things that people have really passionately got behind. Oh, look, I put my mouse right over that. Look at that. This is like tracing. You ever done tracing? Damn it. It's close. Close. Ah? It's basically like the video. Anywho, yeah. Cryptoys on that. I think it's a huge plus. And I think they're going to get more sports, so that's not bad.
With licensing deals with publicly traded companies. So this is really, really important to us and to the brands that we work with. So Flow, again, hats off to the entire team there. We think, Flow is really primed for an incredible future. And we really think that as you build use cases and applications on blockchain, if you do it right, the blockchain kind of fades into the background as long as the user experience is absolutely phenomenal. So we think if you look at the space 10 years from now, folks aren't going to really care specifically, is this Ethereum, is it Solana, is it, Polygon, is it Flow, etc. People are just going to care.
That is so important. We like you log on to Twitter every day because you're addicted to learn about the NFT space. Yo, Top Shot back coming through with the 50. Sheesh, Sayubal, hello, sir, and thank you for the bits. But you log on to Twitter and you see these people arguing about, oh, it's Solana, oh, it's this. Like, the only reason we care about that is because it's a conversation right now. Like, whoever these winners within the blockchain world are, which I think it's going to be interoperability, but I do think that certain ones are going to definitely prevail and be like the cream de la creme, or the creme de la crop. You get the idea. Those conversations literally will not happen at a point. Is it, within this year? Maybe, probably not. And I really don't think so. Maybe like, December 31st or some shit. They're like, okay, here's like the two winners and it's super evident or whatever. But I think there is going to be a time when like that's not even a discussion. It's just whatever the consumer kind of wants. And then maybe NFT Twitter doesn't even exist then. Ayubal, you absolutely do to talk about all your rusted robots or I forget the name of it. Is Other Side Deed coming soon? I don't know. Listen, those Yuga guys, they made a cashed out. We don't know. We saw a video of them at a wedding the other day. I mean, that means they're not doing anything. Jeez.
If the user experience
I'm just kidding, by the way.
Phenomenal. Do I have true ownership of my assets? Do I have liquidity? And are the fees low? And if you check those boxes, this stuff fades into the background. But what we do as developers and as creators, we know the best way that we can deliver those type of experiences to the end consumer is to build on top of a blockchain like Flow. And that's why we decided to go with it. So we'll be showcasing a lot of cool initiatives along with Flow and Dapper Labs over the next few months. We love working with them. They're great partners. All right, so back to the day one details. So just kind of getting into how this is all going to work. So for day one, so the price point. We had a lot of folks talking about price point. We've priced this incredibly aggressive.
I'm gonna
because
put
we
a
want
poll
this to
up.
be accessible for everyone. $39.99 plus a 5% transaction fee if you're paying with a credit card. Yeah, this is a $39.99 digital collectible. Again, you know, a lot of folks, they're charging, you know, 180, 200, 250, 300 for some of these mints. Nah, forget all that. $39.99 plus a 5% transaction fee per cube. You can max mint up to 5. And then also, if you don't want to pay with a credit card, you can top off with crypto inside of your Cryptoys account once you register. So keep in mind,
Genuinely curious for people in here.
States,
There's a poll up
with
right now. Do you like the $39.99 price plus a 5% transaction fee? I think that when we're looking at the space overall, it's not bad. I think when we look at comparable projects, again, like you kind of just like, all right, well, NBA Top Shot, we've seen them run from, you know, $15 packs to several hundred, almost 1,000 as well. It seems like a lot of the stuff that they're doing is good, and I think you have to match the pricing based off the scalability for accessibility.
With a credit card. If you are outside of the United States, you'll need to pay with crypto, and we make it incredibly easy to pay with crypto. We could use Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC. You could do it very, very simply, and it's very easy to do once you log into the platform, which we'll talk about it in a second here. So very, very seamless. And yes, Cryptoys is for the people, Jason. So what will we be able to do with the Cryptoys on day one? We went through a little bit.
This is important.
We'll go over it right now as a recap.
This is super important.
Number one, join the drops, collect, buy Cryptoy cubes, kind of build out your collection. You'll be able to play a mini game while you wait in the queue. That scroller, that kind
Why
of
isn't Top Shot done that? Absolute
actually
crocs.
have fun and play with that game while you wait in the queue. So there's an interactive experience even as you wait to purchase. You could then buy up to 5, as we mentioned, per transaction. Your Cryptoy cubes will appear in your backpack once you buy them. Then it's up to your discretion what you do with them. You can keep the Cryptoy cubes boxed in the cubes. You can unbox them, see what you got inside in pristine condition, or you can unwrap them and then take it for a spin around the block. You saw what the block looks like. You'll be able to do that from day one. You'll see the statometers that you got, what the score is, and your attributes for your Cryptoys, and then start building out your collection. So that's the day one kind of private beta experience. And again, a lot of new stuff is going to come shortly after that. So this is really for our early supporters to get into the platform.
All right, 4 votes, great value, 1 for it's fair and 1 for it's too expensive.
Before we move on to the next slide, a couple questions, and I want to make sure we get to them. So someone was kind of curious about the tiers. They say, is the tier random? Is the hero more than 39? Let's kind of explain that for people.
Great question. So this entire drop for Zoofo Escape for the Genesis, you see the Zoofo Escape, it says the Genesis drop. You see at the top it says Zoofo Escape because that's what the line is called. Just like Mattel's Master Universe, our first line is Zoofo Escape. These are all heroes. So you are guaranteed, if you're minting in the Genesis drop and picking up Cryptoys, you are getting heroes, guaranteed. So these are all heroes. Again, we really wanted to reward our earliest supporters.
I agree with you.
So these are all going to be heroes, and then obviously there'll be the common heroes, the uncommons, the rares, the legendaries, the epics, etc. And those will have benefits as you collect some more rare ones. But they're all heroes, so they're all $39.99, and that is the price point for heroes, the base level price, directly purchasing it from us.
Amazing. And then we got another question, Swicky, which, by the way, shout out to Swicky, who's just been great in the chat. Is there a max buy? So can we talk about per transaction, and then can you get back in line if you max mint?
So there is no max. So we want to make sure that, obviously, if we're doing a drop, that people are able to get in the queue, get their place in line, and get it. However, if you purchase your 5, you max purchased, and you want to go back if the queue is still open and there's still inventory left, you can go back into the queue. And then if you get back to the front of the line, get another 5 and start stacking your collection and stacking, frankly, golden tickets as well, because we're keeping track of every 5. So if that's something you wanted to do, you absolutely could. So that'd be awesome if you guys really wanted to get in there and build out your collection that way.
Yeah. All right. We got Dave said, gonna save this stream as a tutorial on how to build a Web3 company.
That's kind. Thank you, Dave. We're trying really hard. You know, we're really, really excited. And again, I hope you guys could hear it. Just even going through this platform, it feels like day one for us. It's like so exciting, the stuff coming to fruition here. So If I talk faster, I start talking fast. It's just the excitement coming through. So I apologize.
Okay. Raul said, "Will we see other users, other Cryptoys in the block during walking?"
On day one, it's a single player, just test drive experience, but that is something that we're iterating on, and you'll eventually have some social capabilities. But day one, because we wanted to get this out, we could build and iterate forever, but we wanted to get this out to our earliest supporters. So day one, it'll be just you'll be able to just kind of test drive for starters.
Awesome.
And then
And then Omni said, "Do you need to KYC to buy?" I'm guessing they're asking.
Ooh.
Yeah, through the platform, there's just a few steps. You'll see it when you sign up for the first time. Just go through the payment flow. It'll walk you through it. It's very straightforward.
Awesome. Is this something I need ETH for, or can I use fiat in my Dapper wallet?
So if you are located in the United States, you can use your credit card to purchase. If you're outside of the United States, you could use crypto like Ethereum or Bitcoin, and you'll be able to top off your wallet with that. Dapper wallet support is not available for launch, but it is coming. It is
That's
coming,
super
but it's
interesting.
not on day one, but we are actively working on integrating it. So, if you're in the US, you can use a credit card or crypto, but if you're outside the US, you'll be able to top off your wallet with crypto pretty simply. Yeah.
Don't KYC,
Everyone
but I
keeps
like
asking,
KFC.
when is day one? Guys, day one is day one. What do you mean, when is it? It's day one.
This is, day one's coming pretty quickly.
It's soon. We have to say that. I mean, that's what we always say, right? So soon, just day one equals soon. Do we need a crypto wallet?
No.
Zach asks.
No, but
if you're in the, basically if you're in the US, you don't need it. If you are international, like you will have to pay with crypto in order to buy it.
And then you can use any, if you have a Coinbase or if you have a MetaMask,
So-
you'll be able to transfer it. You'll log into.
I haven't heard that
account.
one before
There'll be
about like having to be in
an
the States
address
for a
that you
credit
can
card.
Send, the amount of crypto you want to top off with, and then you'll be able to go from there. So it really depends on where you're located.
Okay. Yeah. Soon o'clock. Exactly.
Yeah.
When though, in all caps.
Yeah.
Guys, it's day one. Obviously, that's what it means. I
mean,
know you
we're-
said no marketplace, but can heroes be transferred to other users? Great question.
So not on day one, but shortly after we're working on it. So we're working on the native marketplace that you'll be able to do buying, selling, and transferring, trading, and that kind of stuff. That's actively being worked on. We don't have a timetable on that, but it's actively a priority. The non-custodial wallet support, which will come early in 2023, you'll be able to do whatever you want with it. So you could take the crypto off the platform, put it on any marketplace that's Flow supported, and then send it to other people, NFT traders, all those third-party tools that are out there. You'll be able to leverage with that. But we want to build a really cool custom experience for you as well that feels native to the platform. So that's coming. But again, a lot of these day one drops are for early supporters, just to kind of get you guys in there, testing things out, giving us feedback, giving you guys the ability to stack golden tickets, and just rewarding you for being.
In NBA Top Shot, we call that early adopters, and typically they're frowned upon. Wait, hold on. They said early adopters too, I think. Never mind. I was trying to make a joke. Remember how much hate though? Like for real. Like hardcore for real. Can you imagine if like Cryptoys, the early adopters, get fudded the way that NBA Top Shot early adopters did? Holy shit!
So awesome and so patient with us as we built this out. So that's the day one stuff that you can see here. And then more stuff is actively coming. Like I have my screen here where it's all the presentation for today. And then I have this screen over here. That's the entire product roadmap for the company. And I was very exactly.
Show it.
I had made sure I picked the right one here. But eventually we're going to go through all this stuff soon in different events. So there's so much to cover on this one. If I shared this one, you guys are going to, there's going to be just information overload because there's so much being built. But we'll get there. That'll be the.
How big do we think like the fan base around Cryptoys is right now?
By the way, we still have. This isn't the last slide, folks. All of a sudden, I stopped for questions and everyone's flooding in. This is the last question that's gonna lead us to our future. Oh shoot! Someone. Oh yeah, right here. When sign up that is coming.
Yeah.
You predicted the future, so let's get back into the presentation.
Yeah. So how do you participate in the Cryptoys drops? Really simply, you'll be able to go to cryptoys.com, create an account. We'll send you a link via email once the drop opens. So you create the account, you'll be notified via email when drops are open. Also pay attention to the Discord and to Twitter, etc. You'll be assigned a random place in the queue. You can play that game while you wait. Then you can snag up to 5 Cryptoid cubes once you're in the checkout. And remember, Discord, keep your Discord handy.
Yeah, I forgot about Crypto Mauries. Didn't they do like a mental or like a counselor thing?
So that's kind of how the drops go.
Well, not what they were doing.
We're really excited today to announce that as of minutes ago, we just pushed live the ability for you to create your account on cryptoys.com.
What the frig? Why didn't you tell me that earlier? Cryptoys.com. Throwing that down there in the chat if you want to set it up. We are currently teleporting virtually. Your portal is open. Jump into a world where toys, gaming, and entertainment collide on the blockchain to bring new meaning to the world play. They're upcoming soon. Sign up. Ooh, okay. I don't know if there's like... Well, I guess if it's going to be... Yeah, okay, hold on. There we go. Yeah, I'm signing up. Sorry, I'm not showing the screen. Okay, give me a second. Full name, username. You know, I always feel like, do you put your actual birthday or do you fib it? And I'm like, well, what if they do like a birthday thing and then you actually get something on there? You all right, Ubal? I will catch you in a little bit, sir.
You want a good username, or you always want like your first name username, or that one that always the username's taken, go create your account today at cryptoys.com. Get the username you want because it's just now open. So announcing that for the first time live here on the stream before anybody else. And again, this is registration. The drops are going to happen not tonight, but soon. But registration is now open for the first time. So you can go ahead and create your Cryptoys account, get that username you want, and you'll be notified of the drops as soon as they happen.
I got one that you just typed out.
Shortly, we're working around the clock. So when drop, I would say imminent. So.
Oh, really?
That's
soon. Okay.
Oh my God, JT wasn't even aware.
I wasn't even aware. So.
Wait, were we even supposed to do this? JT, we got the blessing from Chrissy. Don't fire us. It's not our fault. I don't mean to throw Chrissy under the bus, but she said we could do it.
Yep.
So go create your account.
Can you go to the next slide so I can tell people about the parameters? Yeah.
Looks like hurry the frig up, guys. Thanks.
Like halfway finished right now. We just want to go over a few things so everyone keep these things in mind as you're creating your account. Your email and username will be permanent upon sign up. Make sure you're putting in the right information. We've already had some people ask about changing it. There is no way to change it right now. So just make sure you're putting in the right information. Number 2, very important. Please do not preload. I know everyone wants to get ahead of it, but please do not preload your wallet with crypto until we get closer to the drops. We'll tell you, we'll keep you informed in Discord. It'll be on the Twitter. Like, we'll let everybody know. Just don't do it yet. I know everyone's eager to do it, but there will be a time when we're ready, and we'll tell you guys to preload that crypto to get ready for the drops. And 3, if you're a Cryptoys Classic holder, if you used our Q-Test sign-up channel in Discord, if you haven't, it's there. Go sign up for Q-Testing.
Oh, yeah, I need to do that.
Make sure
Jamie was saying that earlier.
Email that you used in the thread. If it happens to be different, just reach out to me and we'll get it switched on the list. But just try to
Poof, it's different for me.
Email that you used on the thread. And another thing I wanted to capture from the chat a little bit ago about someone saying make sure to use the Coinbase wallet the Coinbase wallet and not the Coinbase app. So you'll actually have a wallet on cryptoys.com that will be yours. That's what you'll be looking to load. That's why Will said Coinbase, because you'll be sending your crypto from whatever wallet you use to the wallet on cryptoys.com to make your purchase.
Yeah, I need to remember to do that.
Clear that up.
After, for sure.
Good call out.
Open up the gates.
Open the gates.
Wow, Zach secured the username Zach. Honestly, if you can secure your first name only, That's how you know you're early. That's a flex.
This is the
Did you
first
see
time
this
in my
one?
life I got Will. I got Will as the username, and I'm really excited.
Wait, I didn't even try to create mine. Oh my god, I feel like someone already took it.
So, okay, this is a complete side thought here, right? Like, kind of left field. But we have all these people that are like hyping up ENS names, right? And obviously, like, this is on Flow, so it's a little bit different. But let's say you have like a similar situation, right? Where you have a product, you have a username. If you incorporate ENS, excuse me, and like actively try to advertise to those holders, I think that's actually like a viable marketing strategy. Back in the bull run, there was a lot of people that were trying to target like BAYC holders and all that kind of shit. I actually think, in a weird way, some of these ones, if you target the ENS holder, they could end up proving valuable.
And said, I'm gonna snag Steph Pseudo. I'm gonna snag username Steph Pseudo.
Can you not? Can you not? Leave it for me. Jeez.
Oh, great.
The floodgates are open. Okay, yeah. Let us know if you signed up. Oh, Justin said he got Justin. Okay,
Nice.
just in time. That's great.
Boom.
Also, if you're having any errors upon
Yo,
sign up,
nice.
it shouldn't happen. But if it does, come into this.
Okay, so I opened Twitter, and here's like another thing, and it's relevant to what we're talking about here. Yo, DP, what's up? So American toy maker Build-A-Bear has partnered with NFT platform Sweet, never heard of it, to launch a series of NFTs. And they're going to use Polygon with it. With bids starting at $2,500. What? The Swarovski... Bro, it's Build-A-Bear and they're... I'm so confused. Dude, listen. Arcade!
Discord, we have a form for you to fill out so we can diagnose, troubleshoot, and get everything fixed for you right away.
Amazing.
Epic.
I'm
Yeah,
literally signing up for an account right now. I better secure stuff, please.
In the
Nobody
middle of
fix
the
stuff,
stream.
please.
You're talking about the prices. Here you go, like
I
from
know, in the middle of the stream. But you know what?
relatively
Priority.
okay, I can see
Yeah,
it. The
I love
holy sweet
I'm
shit.
gonna read a question here. It says the KYC to increase spending limit. Does that also mean you need the KYC if you want to transfer a ton of ETH? No, because the limits. there are no limits with
Sweet.io.
international crypto
Sure.
purchases.
Let me hold
the
on one
limits
second.
are on our USD purchases.
The limit does not exist.
The limit does not exist.
Okay, just looking at this super quickly, just because, kind of in the similar vein here. McLaren Old Navy. So the 200 of those ones, this Red Bull helmet. Like, I don't know. Like, when I'm looking at this kind of stuff, like, certain ones don't, like, attract me the same. Sweet is a strict stay away for me. I don't know. Like, certain things have, like, that metaverse type vibe, and those shoes do. The dogs don't really do anything for me. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Wait, this shit sold for $74,000? There's no effing way. There's no effing way. Tiptoe, everyone's favorite bashful reindeer. Takes to the skies after finding the courage within to fly. Who are these people and where did they get the money from and why are they buying this? Like, was it some person in, like, the corporate ladder that was like, guys, we need our Macy's collection to sell for, like, a lot. We need to sell it for a lot or we're going to have a problem. Right? And it's on Polygon, too. Like, on top of that, again, no disrespect to Polygon, but we've seen repeatedly that generally the prices aren't as high on Polygon. So why in the hell did this go for almost $100,000 American? Holy sheesh!
Got my art persona, Fred Bites. Nice, Freddy.
Most of all my experiences with ETH being on Flow, how high can a blue
Sign
chip
up,
hate
done.
that? For top
I did
collections.
a few days ago. Okay.
Like here, is there anyone in chat that's got like a good answer with that one? Like, I feel that Flow doesn't really have many blue chips because it feels that almost everything for Flow is designed for the masses, not for the like. So here, let me word it this way. NBA Top Shot is what a lot of people would consider a blue chip, right? There's very, very few moments on that platform that have an insanely high price point, right? Where you would say, okay, like that's a blue chip. A lot of it's sustainable for the most part. And sure, we've seen it kind of like go up from different moment burnings and whatnot. But I mean, outside of NBA Top Shot and I mean, I guess we could potentially, it's early, but there's a lot of people that are super hyped up about Cryptoys and maybe Ballers. Like, I don't know. Like beyond that, like, I think it's hard to argue the Top Shot's not a blue chip, but for other projects, like I haven't seen enough of them like on the timeline to say, yeah, okay, like here's some other Flow blue chip projects.
If you really were paying attention, the
There were
secret
small-
alpha, you were able to.
There were small pockets where it was live for testing, and then we took it down, and then it was like, so if you caught it a few days ago, then you like happened to be on the site at a specific moment in time. And
Got lucky.
It's so good for you.
Yeah. Good
Well,
observation,
yeah,
Steph.
you got
Or good
real lucky. You
just
better have
definition.
signed a good username if you were actually like first.
Yep.
God. So yeah, when you sign up, all you have to do is put your full name, your username, and your birthday. Because I'm signing up right now, I can see.
Signing
It's
up
pretty
live,
easy,
eh?
folks.
W.
It's very straightforward, very quick, and yeah, it's exciting. And remember, if you have any questions,
I think the
whether
last
it's
slide's
through
a
the sign-up
thank you.
process or as we get
Okay,
closer-
all right. So that's pretty much the end of that. Okay, do we have any extra thoughts from it? So as someone that has a Cryptoys Classic that viewed that, and admittedly I haven't paid close attention to the collection, I think they said everything correctly in my point of view. At least like I was happy with it. There was never anything that stood out to a shock for me. I think that the pricing model's realistic. I think that I'm kind of reconfirmed with the affirmation that Flow is going to be the blockchain that is going to have some of these bigger IPs that they do view as scalable and for the masses. I think their breakdown is good. The roadmap, I'm not sure if they explained more or less than I wanted. Knowing that like how high they're striving, because they broke down the 4 phases, right? But I don't know if there was a particular date that they said, hey, for, you know, phase 1 is going to be sometime between, let's just say now and December. And then phase 2 is going to be between like January and February, right? Like there wasn't any of those kind of dates mentioned, I don't think. And we've seen across the space that setting hard deadlines have done nothing but completely trash things, where Look Labs would be an interesting example of that one. The imminent drop is cool. I think that in terms of like a big presentation that you're saving up for, did they have any kind of firecracker moments that you were like, oh shit? I don't think it was many, but I think that it was solid for what it was, right? So like for people that were attending, you got the satisfaction from attending of, hey, we're able to go and get whatever username that we is. So it was worth our time, probably just from that alone, right? The information was presented in a fun, good way. I'm trying to think in terms of like alpha. I don't know if there's any. They mentioned the price, but I'm assuming the price would be up on the page, and that's kind of neither here nor there. It's cool to find out about. I think that they did put like thought into not releasing certain things until that. And I like that, right? Like, I think that it's cool when a project thinks ahead and like, hey, keep this announcement for when we have a bigger production of some point, just because it'll be better for it. Following the project for the year, they typically never put dates on anything. Gotcha. Flow is good for onboarding Web3 newbies with credit card purchase options for custodial like Top Shot. Well, so, you know, back to the comment earlier where I said, like, I had a friend that did their MetaMask and like they figured it out. I didn't even like tell them anything except, hey, yo, download this MetaMask. And then they ended up sending me like their Ethereum address, right? Like I didn't tell them they had to click on anything. I didn't tell them they had to do anything. Just, hey, go create this wallet and we can chat later. And then he sent that and I was like, oh shit. Okay. So I think there are people that can jump into that. But for my parents, you know, usually it's like, hold on, let's just double check extra reminder, you need to do this. And I think it's just, with the age gap and how technology is comfortable to people and what they're willing to, it's all that. When you talk about creating hype outside of certain licenses, I really like the animated series announcement because of that. Did they say that within there? I feel like I missed it. I wouldn't be shocked if they did that, but that's cool. Yeah, I definitely missed that. Multi-Web 2 brands with deals done. NDA restricted alpha. There is a problem in the space that those conversations and comments should hold more weight, but they don't, because other projects have said similar things, or expectations have generally not been what people talk about. So that's not against Cryptoys at all, but for people that are kind of like fresh and new to the space, whenever they hear something like that, they will say, hey, it's alpha. But for the people that have been in the space for a long time, I feel that we're a lot more kind of, okay, listen, okay, this NDA shit sounds kind of good. Okay, I'm holding judgment until I see what it is, right?